so Jan, hop on up. All right, so Jan is one of our staff nurses here at the ED. He did briefly leave us to spread his wings and travel, but he recognized that this was his home. So he came back to us in July. Otherwise, Jan enjoys running marathons. He also coaches wrestling for Co. And we are lucky to have him. Hello.
Whoops.
Good morning. All right, I'll go ahead and read the Daisy nomination. So, a little over a month ago, my mother was admitted to the ED with flu-like symptoms. Upon her arrival at the ED, she took a turn for the worse. Her heart stopped for 7 minutes, and the ED doctors had to perform CPR to save her life. My dad, who was with her, called me in pure panic and distress. When I arrived at the hospital, completely overwhelmed, my first impression entering her room was that Jan was running the show. Without skipping a beat, he took time to explain to us what had happened, a massive pulmonary embolism. In that moment, we were unsure whether she would survive. He was respectful and made sure that when we had a priest come to pray with us, that the students moved outside of the room to give us space. He quietly worked around us and allowed us to be by her side the entire time. Despite the fact that she was unconscious, he still talked out loud to her by name to tell her exactly what he was doing. During one of the scariest moments of our lives, we found comfort in Jan's ability to keep us calm, to give us the hope that we so desperately needed. We are beyond thankful for the entire team in the ED, Dr. Bailey, the social worker who comforted us and got us chairs to sit in, and many other nurses and doctors that helped to save my mom's life. It's staff like those in the ED that make UIHC absolutely the best. We can't thank you all enough. And this was from not only a patient's daughter, but also one of our nurses here in the hospital, so she truly does know what the best level of care is. So congratulations, Jan.
We have a whole program with these Daisy Awards, right? And I know that there have been other Daisy recipients in the emergency department, so I know you're familiar with the award. But just to kind of recap, right, because the Daisy Foundation likes for us to do these presentations in a certain way because it's just really important to them and to the recipients. So the Daisy Foundation is quite old now, right? It was established in 1999. And the parents of Patrick Barn established the Daisy Foundation. The Daisy stands for Diseases Attacking the Immune System. And they determined after Pat, their son, had been in the hospital for a while, and he unfortunately passed away at a young age in his 30s. And he was married, had a baby, and so it was a big loss to them. And so they decided to establish the Daisy Award in his honor, but in all nurses' honor, right? So congratulations on you being recognized by this family for the great work that you did. So we have a variety of things for you. You'll get a copy of your nomination, but this is a certificate, right, for you. And it says that this award is presented to Jan Rosenberg, a deep appreciation for all that you do, who you are, and the incredibly meaningful difference you make in the lives of so many people. So that is yours. Also, the daisies are yours, and I'm not going to have you hold everything because then you're going to drop something. Your arms are going to be so full. So one of the things that you get is a daisy pin. Okay, and I know. Well, look, you've got the daisy pin already. So you've got another one to add to your collection. So I'm going to hand that to you, but I'm going to talk about the pin. So when Patrick was sick in the hospital, his stepmom and dad saw how nurses wear pins, nursing school pins and other things. And so they thought, well, they wanted to create a pin just special for the Daisy Award recipients. And so that is, in fact, your Daisy Award pin. So they want you to wear that proudly, which I know you will, because you're wearing the Daisy team pin proudly. All right, so next item. I feel like Vanna all of a sudden. So this is yours. This is a statue called the Healer's Touch. And you can hold whichever item you want to hold here. Okay? But this is really neat. Okay, so you need to hold this because this is awesome. This is heavy and it's got a unique thing here. So I'm going to read to you about the Healer's Touch. So, it says, this beautiful sculpture is for you, Jan. It's called the Healer's Touch. What a perfect representation of the bond between nurses and their patients. These sculptures are hand-carved by artists in Zimbabwe, and each piece is signed by one of the many Shona artists that the Daisy Foundation supports. So right there. As you may know, the economy and the politics of Zimbabwe have been in turmoil for decades, and the artists are able to support hundreds of people and their families with this work. So if you go to the daisyfoundation.org website, you can see a video that talks about the artists and how they create these sculptures out of serpentine stone. And so the Daisy Foundation feels that nurses are reaching around the world and impacting the lives of so many people. And the artists are filled with gratitude for nurses and supporting them in the work that they do. So you get this green bag, and in the green bag is a copy of your nomination and some other information about other benefits for you for the Daisy Foundation. All right, so in the bottom here, you get the daisies to do with what you wish, okay? Now, in the bottom, which I'm not going to pick this up, we have individually wrapped cinnamon rolls for you and whomever you decide to give them to, okay? Which I think you're going to be sharing them with your team.
You've got some looks.
Yeah, right. All right. So, I'm going to read about why we give cinnamon rolls at every Daisy presentation. So, there's several reasons why the Daisy Foundation asks that cinnamon rolls be served as a Daisy celebration. So first, when Pat was ill and had lost his appetite, one morning he asked for a bite of a cinnamon roll that his dad had brought for his own breakfast. And Pat ended up eating the whole thing. So his dad, Mark, had mixed emotions about that. He was glad Pat was finally eating something, but he was sad that he ate the whole thing, ate his breakfast, right? So that night, as his family was leaving the hospital, Pat asked his family to come the next day, be sure to bring cinnamon rolls, and to bring in enough for all the nurses on the unit. And the cinnamon rolls were Pat's thank you to his nurses, and the foundation wants every nurse to share in Pat's favorite treat as a gift of gratitude to all of you today. So the second reason is that nursing is a real team sport, and you show that each and every day. So the family says, we have never seen better teamwork than what we see among all of you. So the cinnamon rolls are to celebrate your team and to give you an opportunity to stop for just a few minutes today and share something special together. And so finally, almost without exception, when a nurse receives a Daisy Award, the humble response is, I didn't do anything special, I was just doing my job. And I am sure you feel the same way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely, I can tell, yeah. So what the Daisy nurse may not realize, though, is that whenever nurses like you, Jan, are just doing your jobs, you have such an important and meaningful impact on the lives of so many people, many more than their patients. And you can see that in the nomination that Allie just read to you. So that's why the Daisy Foundation asks that when cinnamon rolls be shared at every presentation. And their message is this: whenever you smell a cinnamon roll, whenever you taste one, whenever you think of one, or if you or someone at your home is baking with cinnamon, please remind yourself of how very special you are. Whenever you and all of you are just doing your jobs and not doing anything special, you're making a positive difference in a patient and their family's life. You are making the world a better place because you are a nurse. And all of us and the Daisy Foundation salute you, Jan, and honor you. So please enjoy these cinnamon rolls as a Pat's gift and an everlasting thank you for being a nurse. You and your team are very, very special people. And so we want to thank the family who nominated you. We do send them a letter letting them know that their nomination was read and that you actually were recipient of the award. And so the final thing for us to do, we have a banner. It's got your name on it. It'll stay down here wherever you guys choose to display it for a month so that everybody can honor you for that whole time. So we want to get some pictures of you and some of your goodies here and your team.